Have my dog sitting right here. This is Caroline. She will probably get up in the middle of this conversation. Hi, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am sharing my April wish list items, everything I wanted in April, and at the end of this video, I will calculate how much all of that equates to. So in other words, how much I would have actually spent in April if I were not on a no-buy year. I'm not buying anything new in my problem categories, which includes clothing, skincare especially. It turns out skincare is a big problem category for me, and homewares in particular. So those three main categories are the biggest problem categories for me, which means that in the past I have way overspent in those categories. So in this year I am committing to not buying anything new so that I can save money, free myself from clutter. Now, if you're interested in that, I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel actually. And if you would like more information about my no-buy year, I'll leave my introduction to my no-buy year video in the card. So I'm in a little bit of an odd mood today. I wasn't planning on filming, and I just felt like I had some energy to expend. So I'm here and talking to you. I just wanted to talk to someone. So I'm talking to my camera. I'm just wanting to burst out of my shell and go galloping through the fields right now. I think it's just the general feeling of spring and the feeling of the pandemic lightening and opening more up in the world. It just feels like there's a little bit more freedom in the air in general, and I'm for it. I'm so for it. Back to the video at hand, my April wish list items. These are all of the items that I've been tracking this month that I've wanted or had an inkling of wanting. April has been a really unique month from my no-buy year perspective. It has just taken on a shift, a really huge shift compared to January, February, and especially March. In January, I wanted a lot of things, and I attributed that to having come out of Christmas and kind of being in this habit of shopping and seeking and wanting new things and being excited by new things. And so in January, I definitely had this high level of interest in wanting to buy things, and that carried on through February at about the same level. Come March, it peaked. It went through the roof, and it was hard for me to stay dedicated to my no-buy. By the end of March, I had a breakthrough, and I created this video, my #1 tip to not shop. And in that video, I talk about finding your why, my personal driving force that will always right the ship of my no-buy year. And that has stayed with me in April. So it's been really interesting because the desire, the thrill, if you will, and that what I call panic, don't mind my dogs, they're just gonna be like this today. It's just, I don't know, it's just like this today. I had interest in buying things, certainly, and I'll run through my wish list items. But because I had discovered my why, I need to come up with a new name for it because I just can't stand buzzwords and buzz phrases. Oh, dogs. What can I help you with? When I found my ultimate reason in committing to a no-buy, I found that any desire I had really paled in comparison to the desire to stay committed. If it's a seesaw of desire, my desire to stay committed to my no-buy because of my ultimate purpose, my ultimate goal that I'm fighting for to stay committed, compared to the desire and thrill of buying something new, it pales in comparison. There's just no comparison, because my ultimate desire to stay committed to my no-buy is steadfast. So it's been an interesting month from that perspective, because I would feel this very nonchalant desire. It was sort of a, yeah, that's nice, I want that. Nothing like March. I mean, night and day compared to March. In March, I wanted everything, and I wanted it with passion. And in April, no passion for anything new. I have my list right here in front of me, so I'm going to be looking down over here so that I can reference everything accurately. I'm proud to say I haven't bought any of the things on my wish lists so far through this year. It's April. I'm a third of the way through my no-buy year already. I put this plant here. Isn't that nice? Thought that was a little blank in the background, so I moved it from a different part of the house. But I will say, moving this plant made me want to buy more houseplants. It's one of my problem areas, and it's definitely a problem area still. We'll get into that. Into the wish list items, the first category is clothing, and I did want several things in clothing, honestly. It's not surprising. I shouldn't be surprised. It's surprising because I have so much clothing already. And so you would think, how could I want more? But it turns out I really love the expression of fashion, and I love the creativity and beauty that comes with fashion and in clothing, and I love little details. So yeah, I did want a lot of things. We are starting to get warmer weather now, and I wanted a lot of skirts. I'm on this I really want dresses and skirts thing right now, and April was no different. So I wanted a couple of linen skirts, just a basic flowy white and one navy, and then I also wanted a different style that was belted and had buttons and was nice. And I wanted a Tory Burch wrap linen skirt. It had a tie at the waist, and it was stripy, so it was a little bit different. Yeah, so it was about 4 skirts. I think that on a not a no-buy year, on a regular year, I would have bought probably about 4 skirts. And then finally, I wanted a dress. It was this Me and M cheesecloth maxi dress. I have been really smitten by names this month for some reason. I'm just in this very creative headspace, this very, ooh, that's intriguing, that's intriguing sounding sort of headspace. So it's about 5 articles of clothing, and that all equated to approximately $760 worth of stuff. So then we move into houseplants and homewares. I really wanted a lot of houseplants. Like I say, I moved this little beauty in here, and I love the look of it, and I just thought it filled the space nicely, and I love the little peak of it coming up over the couch from that angle, and it just looks so sweet and nice, and I wanted to just do that a lot. Again, I feel it's probably just the season and the way the season feels, and sort of the easing up on the pandemic slightly, that is making me want to kind of just burst out of the edges and refresh things. So I wanted a lot of plants, and there's this website in particular called Bloomscape, where you can buy plants that are pre-potted, and you get to choose the color of pot that you want. I just was completely enamored of this site. I just love the idea so much that I could order something online and have this plant arrived all perfect and ready to go and ready to set up in my home. Love the idea. So I wanted a peace lily, because I have this peace lily and I really like them. They clean the air and they're nice. But I wanted a really large one because I have this really large wall over there, and it would have filled the space perfectly. So that one was $105. And in order to set this peace lily in the place that I had in mind, I would have needed to buy a little table, again like this, like a little plant table. And this table, I would want it exactly that one. This one was $69. So there were 4 plants from the Bloomscape site that I was really intrigued by. And again, I was just smitten by the names. This Philodendron Xanadu was a large plant and it was $150. Another one was the Philodendron Shangri-La and it was $65. The third one was a Calathea Beauty Star and it's $35. And then the final one was the Calathea Peacock, $65. They are beautiful plants, granted, but they are just plants and they do come pre-potted, so you're paying a premium for house plants, but gosh, they just sounded lovely. And then honestly, the final item that I wanted in April was one skincare item. I had talked at length in January and February and March about all the skincare items that I currently want, and those have not changed. They are still the exact same things that I want today, but I haven't gotten through the skincare that I started with at the beginning of this year yet, so I really can't appease those fantasies at this time. The only one skincare product I wanted was Muji facial cottons from Amazon, and they're $12 for the pack of 2. It was a couple years ago I bought a whole bunch of packages of the Shiseido facial cottons from the Sephora VIB sale. I don't know what I was thinking. I bought, I think, 10 packages. I think at the time I was going through them at a more rapid pace, but now I still have, I think, 6 packages. I've done a little bit more research and I've learned a little bit more since a couple years ago, and I discovered these Muji facial cottons, which are a dupe for the Shiseido facial cottons, and they are an unbleached version of the same thing. So they're for sensitive skin and they're really soft and gentle, and they sounded great. I really want to try them, but I have so many Shiseido ones that I probably will never end up buying these this year. I can't even imagine getting through the 6 or so packages that I have. And that is everything that I wanted this month. It was a very interesting want. I say want with quotes because I didn't actually feel that panic like I normally do when I want something. There was zero panic because, like I say at the beginning, I had this guiding light to direct all of my desires. For all of those items I've just mentioned, the skirts, the houseplants, and the facial cottons, the total comes to $1,262. And that's a lot of money. When I'm comparing a dollar amount to my level of desire and want, it doesn't make any sense because these were just passing fancies. There's just, oh yeah, that would be nice to add. Oh yeah, a plant here and there, that'd be great. I'd add another plant over there too, that'd be great. Oh yes, a skirt would be lovely this time of year. But it was just truly that, just passing fancies. In March, my total was $1,500. And that made a lot of sense to me because my panic, my frenzy, my desire were commiserate with that dollar amount, if that makes sense. Like, it was peaked. I felt like my definition of and vision of who I am wouldn't make any sense if I couldn't buy the items I wanted back in March. And so a $1,500 price tag with that feeling felt commiserate. Whereas in April, yeah, I kind of saw these items in passing and I wanted them in passing, and yeah, that's nice. But my desire was almost nil. It was truly a, ooh, that's pretty. And then now we're moving on. So for it to be $1,200, almost $1,300, doesn't make any sense because it's so disparate to the feeling. The power of that feeling was so much less, and yet the dollar amount was not that much different from in March. So it's just really strange to contrast these dollar amounts and these feelings from these 2 months. That is everything for this video that I have to mention. I hope that you enjoyed this, and if there was anything in April that you really wanted to buy and you held back, I would love to hear about it in the comments below if you want to share, because I think that is momentous. I really do. I'm learning more and more as this year goes on how important it is when we hold ourselves to a higher standard than from our past. It's very laudable, very, very impressive, and I'm impressed with you if you were able to do that this month. So with that, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I will be back very soon with a new video, and until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.